Hey guys, it's Mike from Show Outdoors. How do you create a level of readiness for an adventure ride, whether you're a beginner or an experienced rider? Adventure riding, you're quickly out of cell service, and many times you don't have access to help. So I like to consider two forms of readiness. First, how do you do your best to avoid injury to yourself or damage to the motorcycle? And secondly, are you ready if a repair is needed? Over the years of riding, I've determined a few must-haves that I'd like to share with you. Readiness for the rider is all about the gear. Be ready to try lots on, from a helmet to the jacket, pants, gloves, boots. Find gear that's comfortable for you, provides a level of protection that you're looking for, and also works in the climates that you're riding in. By far and away, boots are the most important. A good pair of hiking boots or hunting boots just won't cut it. They don't have the lateral protection that's needed. You want to find a pair of adventure boots or motocross boots that have stiff sides to them, so laterally they're very stiff and protect. Here you have an ankle protector. Also a boot that's a little bit taller. Many of your road boots, your road motorcycle boots, are shorter. They're shorter and they don't provide the lower leg protection that's required. Here you have a shin support, you have great stiffness throughout the lower leg. Absolutely an essential, I think the number one piece of equipment for the rider. The second most important piece of equipment in my mind is a chest protector. Not all adventure riders wear them, and I say to my buddies, if you see an adventure rider without a chest protector on, they've never broken a rib. I was riding with several of my buddies down in New Jersey, in the Pine Barrens. It's a wooded area, but instead of dirt, you have sand, and you're close to the beach, so some of the sand is very deep and soft sand. I made a cardinal sin. We crested a hill, and the cardinal sin was I came off the throttle, the front wheel washed out, I fell over, the bike fell over, I fell over onto my side, my left rib cage landed on my arm. I didn't hit a tree or anything else, just landed in the sand, but I broke 3 ribs. If I had a chest protector on, and I recommend a chest protector with the side rib cage protectors, most likely it would have been avoided or not as bad as it was. So again, pair of boots, a good pair of riding boots, and then also a chest protector is recommended to create some readiness for yourself. And there's many other pieces, but in my mind, these are the two most essential pieces for readiness as a rider. Readiness for your bike before an adventure ride could take on many different considerations. For me, the primary consideration is if I drop the bike or it falls over, or if I wreck the bike, what gives me the best opportunity to ride the bike back to home base? Typically, I make 2 alterations to a bike. So many times a new bike will come through with a handguard on it that does not have a metal or an aluminum bar that runs through it. The bar provides a lot of rigidity to that area and then protects not only your hands, but also the grip and the clutch lever or the brake lever. When you think about it, if you break a clutch lever, you're gonna have a hard time making it back home. So absolutely essential to put on a handguard that has a metal or aluminum bar that runs through it. Secondly, I always want to make sure that I have more than ample protection for both the engine and also the fuel tank. In this case, this was the stock engine guard for the 890, and it's a lightweight aluminum. I did see some videos and I talked to some folks at the one dealership where a rock jumped up, or they hit something, they hit a log harder than they had anticipated, and they caused damage to their engine casing and or the fuel tank. So I wanted to avoid that. What I did on the KTM is I put on a heavier gauge, a 4mm gauge aluminum engine guard, and then also put the 3mm fuel tank guards on the side along with the engine rails. So ample protection now to the motor and also the fuel tank on the 890. So readiness for your bike, again, it can take on many other considerations, but for me, these are the 2 most important to make sure that I can make it back to home base should something happen. As we transition from bike readiness, and again, the primary goal of bike readiness is to avoid damage to the bike where you can no longer ride it. You want to be able to ride your bike back home, regardless of how ugly it might be. You want to be able to ride back to home base. However, when you are out on the trails, invariably something is going to happen. And if it does, you need to be able to wrench on your bike. Wrenching on your bike takes practice. It takes familiarity with your bike. So you need to spend some time at home with your bike. It's better to practice at home than to be the first time out on the trail and you're trying to repair a part of your bike. The most common issue that occurs out on the trails is flat tires. So whether your tire's cut or punctured, or you get a pinch flat by pinching your tube, you'll need to know how to remove the wheel, remove the rear wheel, the front wheel, patch the tire, put a new tube in it. It's a skill that is absolutely essential for any adventure rider. A great way to practice this is if you're planning to put new tires on the bike, rather than take the entire bike into the dealership or the tire center, remove the tires or remove the wheels at home, and then take the wheel into the dealership, the tire center, and let them put the new tires on for you. And then again, when you come back, you're going to reinstall. So it's an opportunity to practice. Find those opportunities to practice wrenching on your bike. The other piece of readiness when it comes to being able to repair your bike out on the trail is a tool roll, at least a minimum tool roll. So make sure you have the common wrenches in that tool roll. Make sure that you have wrenches and tools to be able to remove your wheels. Those are typically much bigger wrenches. So make sure that they're part of your tool roll. Also, if you're replacing the tube, you're going to need tire irons, you're going to need a tire repair kit. So a good basic tool roll is absolutely essential if you plan on being able to repair your bike out on the trail. When adventure riding, safety, communications, and mapping are absolute essential and critical aspects of readiness for any rider. From a safety standpoint, the buddy system is the way to go. If you can ride with someone, that's the safest and best bet in all cases. If you're not able to ride with someone, make sure that you inform others of your intended route and the timing and any other aspect of your plan that you have for your ride. In today's world, technology has melded together the aspects of safety, communications, and GPS mapping. If you're in a remote area with no cell service, your phone's not going to work for you. So being able to rely on satellite for safety and communications and your mapping is absolutely essential. I use the Garmin 66i. There's many other Garmin products out there like the InReach, which is smaller, but I like the functionality of this unit. So I'm able to text via satellite. Obviously I have GPS mapping with it, and I'm also able to summons medical attention if I have a medical emergency. It has an SOS button on the side, which I have the service activated. To me, this is absolutely essential. It's worth the $25 a month I pay for a subscription fee. And from an old technology standpoint, I still like to use paper maps. I think the redundancy of paper maps is absolutely essential. And by the way, in the evening, if we're out on a multi-day ride, I like to be able to open that map up and see what's ahead of us. A basic level of readiness for any rider is, can you lift your bike if it falls over flat on the ground? So are you able to lift it up, bring it back to the upright position? There are a lot of great videos out there that show the proper lifting techniques. So if you've never done it before, I recommend that you watch one of those videos. Another aspect of it is understand scenarios where you may not be able to lift it up on your own and try to avoid them. So for example, I was out riding with a buddy on a forest road and we were on an off-camber section where we decided to turn around. My bike fell over and it actually fell below horizontal and I was unable to pick it up myself. I needed my buddy to help me in order to pick it up. So when I go out and ride now, and if I'm riding solo, I avoid that scenario where I may put myself and the bike in that position. So lifting the bike, being able to lift it back up on your own in an upright position is absolutely essential for readiness. So practice in your yard, take some time, develop a confidence that should it happen, you're able to lift your bike up. More and more people are stepping into adventure riding. It's a great time. Creating a level of readiness will increase your chances of enjoying your adventure. I invite you to share your readiness tips in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.